Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and this is my pet, Gorilla George. Let's go through the success of one of the greatest animated films of all time. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was a critical and financial success when it came out in 2018. Not only did it win over critics, obtaining the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, beating out two Disney films, damn, that seemed like a challenge, but also made close to $400 million. And of course, with success like that, there has to be a sequel, because nothing is original anymore. Okay, all jokes aside, this sequel was initially announced around a year or two after it was released. A full-on teaser would not be released until late 2021, which not only revealed it would be a two-parter, but also make another full-fledged Spider-Man trilogy. The third after the Sam Raimi and Marvel Cinematic Universe trilogies. Sorry, Andrew Garfield, but you did not get a trilogy. The first of the two-parter, titled Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse, is set to be released on June 2nd of 2023, after being delayed twice over more than a year. Many people are excited to see Miles Morales' story continue after the first movie, myself included. But, how much do we know about this movie? What do I want to see? What do I not want to see? And do I think the movie is going to be good? Let's find out today, as we are predicting Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. First off, we know it's a two-parter, as stated in the first teaser trailer. We also know that it is titled Across the Spider-Verse, again confirmed by the teaser trailer. We also know that it's going to continue right where the last one left off, with Miles reunited with Gwen Stacy from the alternate universe. Seeing as how all the previous Spider people were sent back to their dimensions and the machine that was used to do so was destroyed, it was thought unlikely that they would never have returned. But obviously, that's not the case. Of the Spider people from the last movie, we also have confirmation that Jake Johnston's Peter B. Parker will also be returning. We also have confirmation of some new Spider people, such as Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, who of course was in the original video game that these movies were based on, as well as the comic and first movie at the end of the movie in the post-credits scene. We also have confirmation that Issa Rae will be voicing the character of Spider-Woman, the Drew version, Jessica Drew. The final Spider-Person that we have confirmation on appearing in this movie is Takuya Yamashiro, the famous Japanese Spider-Man from the 1978 television series. The first villain of the movie is confirmed to be the Spot, voiced by Jason Schwartzman, and the second villain is an alternate universe version of the Vulture, or Adrian Toomes, set to appear as well. Finally, it is also confirmed that the film has 240 characters and takes place across 6 universes. Now that's all the stuff we know. What are the things I'd like to see? What I would love to see is the return of the Spider people that were in the last movie, as they added a lot to the story and had their own individual arcs. It would be great to see them go through more challenges and see their characters more developed. I'd also like to see previous versions of Spider-Man brought to the big and small screens as well, like the 60s version of Spider-Man teased in the post-credit scene of the original movie, the 90s version of Spider-Man from the animated series, and the Spectacular Spider-Man from the series of the same name, and possibly even the 3 Peter Parkers portrayed in the live-action movies. As far as villains go, I'd love to see other takes on Spider-Man's classic rogues gallery, such as the Green Goblin, Dr. Octopus, and Venom. And even some faces never seen on the screen before, like the Chameleon, Kraven the Hunter, and the Black Cat. That cameo in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 does not count. I'd also love to see famous comic variations of Spider-Man make an appearance, such as the Scarlet Spider, Spider-Punk, and Spider-Hulk. Yes, that's a thing. In terms of animation style, we know that the movie is going to incorporate different animation styles of each universe, which is a breath of fresh air considering what I said in my last review last week for the first movie. Hashtag shameless plug. As far as emotions go, the movie needs to be bigger in scale and darker in emotion and tone than the first one, as movie sequels usually are, i.e., The Empire Strikes Back. So there can be a difference, a way to distinguish the two movies, Three Soon. That's all I really want to see this movie do. What I don't want to see is Sony meddling with the production. For some idiotic reason, they've made a lot of their movies shorter and mandated them to just under 2 hours, most likely to play more times in theaters. I do not want the movie to be shorter than it needs to be. As it stands, it's already a two-parter, so what's the point in making it even shorter? I also don't want to see the same plot reused, probably unlikely to happen considering the direction they're taking. But there is a possibility. Finally, I don't want to see this being incorporated into Sony's live-action villain universe, because it will completely throw it off from being a standalone movie and just be another product of their forced sorry excuse for a cinematic universe that's already DOA thanks to Morbius's failure. I do think it's going to be good at worst and spectacular at best. The first movie impressed me so much, and I've been waiting a long time for this sequel to come out. If it's anything less than good, then I will no longer support Sony in theaters, despite the fact that there are so many choices they made in which I could have stopped supporting them in theaters. But only time will tell, and hopefully this movie will be a big highlight for me. Well, that's it for this episode. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I figured I might as well stop reviewing stuff for a bit and give you guys a retrospective on something. What do you want from Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse? Feel free to let me know in the comment section below, and tune in next week for the first of 3 reviews, of which the genre many people may be excited about. With that said, my name is Mr. CCS, this is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. See you next week.